Hello and welcome to TheyPod 2.0. I am David. With me once again we have
Chris,
as well as
Ben.
And today we're going to be talking about everything and nothing, and also Fallout 4, a game that has finally come out since Skyrim. We've had a lot of people asking about it. We've had a lot of people playing it. We were asked to do a review of it, so here we are. We're going to give you a thumbs up, thumbs down, as well as hopefully a little more in-depth on it that we've played so far.
I have 3 days logged. 3 days of my life has been wasted on this game.
As in, of just gameplay, 3 continuous days of gameplay, or you played it for the past 3 days?
No, as in like when I check how much time I wasted on the game in my save slots, it says 3 days, 30-something minutes or hours. And
that's just like straight up time logged.
yeah, that's time logged. Over 3 days.
It's pretty manly.
Yeah, fuck my life.
All right.
How many hours do you think you're doing a day?
Oh, I don't know. Quite a bit. I mean, I got it when it came opening night. I actually was one of those assholes standing outside at 9 o'clock in the freezing fucking cold. And I say that obviously jokingly because it was like 52 degrees or something in Southern California. To me, that's freezing because I'm acclimatized to this.
I actually remember talking to you about that because I was like, you can go get it tonight, right? You're like, fuck that shit. I don't fucking go out there.
No, but I pre-ordered it, and I was out in the parking lot, and all the hoodies and the vapes, because everyone who plays video games is in a hood, like wears a hoodie and vapes. And I was like, hey, you know what? I already pre-ordered this. I don't have to wait in line with the rest of these peasants. So I called up GameStop. It was GameStop. I was like, hey, the line's down the street. I pre-ordered this. Does that mean I have to wait in line with the rest of these animals? Like, well, they also pre-ordered it, but we're going to go through the line quickly. Okay, right. So, yeah, I waited in line for a little bit. See, I laid it in my car, and I waited for the line to go down, but people had the same idea. So as soon as the line started dwindling, they came running out, fucking standing in line like a bunch of assholes. So eventually I had to take a bite of the shit sandwich and stay in line next to some kid in a hoodie. And, of course, the joke was, oh, everyone's here for Tomb Raider, right? That's funny. The first 8 times we heard it tonight.
They're still making Tomb Raider games, huh?
Yeah, I guess it was released the same night as Fallout 4.
I liked the last one that came out.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. It was plenty of action. I thought it was pretty good.
The last one that came out, that's the one where she almost got raped, right? So
it was
that
like,
would be why you enjoyed it?
It was like super creepy. Like there's one scene where like they have her tied up and she's hanging from like this meat hook in the ceiling, and there's like a bunch of like people that are cut up hanging next to her and stuff. It's pretty...
Because the first one, I don't think she almost got raped.
Is that just like an ongoing segment with all the games I never picked up on or something?
No, like in the first one. That was like the only one.
Like the very fucking first one? No, there's nothing like that.
Yeah. Where she has 2 guns and stupid green pants and like the white shirt.
No, it's brown shorts and a green shirt.
Whatever. It's fucking 92 something.
Yeah, that's when I played it. It's like, wow, this game sucks.
Pretty much.
Never look back. But anyway, Fallout 4.
Yeah, Fallout 4.
Game that doesn't suck. We're going to try to give you a thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you want to waste your money on it? What differentiates that between New Vegas and the other ones? Let's get into the discussion here, David.
All right, well, first off, we have to discuss the setting. Obviously, Fallout 3 took place in D.C. New Vegas moved west to Vegas. Fallout 4, we're back to the east. We're in Boston. And we actually have a Bostonian here.
Well, kind of. But, the setting, when I first started playing it, I was like, what are these places? And then the more I played it, it was one of those things where it was like, I guess let's just walk around and give it a chance, give it a shot, right? Bunker Hill kind of it's like, wait a minute. Nothing in the developers actually go to Boston because nothing in this game looks like Boston. I don't feel like I'm in Boston at all. I'm sure the same can be said for New Vegas. People from Vegas, like, what is this place? This doesn't look familiar. But I mean, that's one of the things I like about the Fallout games, is that you can look at it like, oh yeah, Prim. I know Prim. Well, that, like like Mojave, like you can look at the map. You've been there, you can identify with these locations. Fallout 4, I was like, a little confused because I'm from there and I didn't recognize anything. Like, what the hell is this? So I was wondering, at Martin, guest we had
a former guest that we had on the show.
He was talking shit on Facebook. Did the developers actually go to Boston and taking good pictures of it and then design a game based on the pictures? I don't think that works. Looking at you, Martin. But there's certain locations that were spot on. Like the big one for me was the Salem Witch Museum. The rest of Boston is okay. I guess is about. Oh yeah, I know the names like Saugus, Malden, Cambridge. You know, Nahant. Out of all places, Nahant. Really? They have Nahant in the game? Give me a fucking break. It's consequential cities that North Shore somewhere. It's like, why do you have Nahant in the game? Anyway, but the Salem Witch Museum, you take a look at like the front, spot on. That looks like exactly like what it looks like in real life. Exactly. I mean, it's fucking spot on.
How many times do you think you've been to the Salem Witch Museum?
I mean, I used to date a girl from Salem. I mean, so I'm one of my best friends, guy that actually lives a couple hours away, used to live there. So, I mean, I've been to Salem. Like, shit, I went to high school, like, right down the street. So, it's one of those things where, I mean, I recognize it. Lynn Woods. It's like, oh, yeah, it's in a Lynn Woods, sure. Like, the little tower and shit. And it was one of those things where, like, I recognize, like, in name, I recognize somewhat of what they're trying to go for, but in general, nah. I mean, the accents, some of the accents are pretty spot on, and the Salem Witch Museum. Then again, I've only have 3 days logged in the game, so I've only logged, discovered the whole North Shore and part of Charlestown and, North Boston and the North End. The North End. So
as a resident Bostonian, what would you give the setting on a? What were we doing? 1 to 5 or 1 to 10? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Of course, it's an alternate reality, post-apocalyptic nonsense, but at the same rate, yeah. I mean, I think I'd have to give it a thumbs down. I mean, they're just like a little like the Salem Witch Museum and Bunker Hill maybe are the only things that I can recognize. Well, sorry, the CIT, the MIT. With the the little dome and the bridge over the Charles and all that other bullshit. So that's about it.
So it's like someone who hasn't been to Boston, right? But I know you spend a bunch of time playing GTA 5 too.
Yeah.
Like GTA 5, not only do the maps kind of add up with Los Angeles, but it's not very hard to figure out, oh, this is like Cahuenga, this is the observatory. It's like...
No, that's how I learned how to get around LA, was playing GTA 5.
It was a big learning curve with all those dead hookers.
Yeah.
That part didn't translate so well.
Yeah, just don't open the trunk. But the setting, there's like a few places I recognize, but other than that, it's whatever. It's just they're telling you, okay, well, I guess it's Boston because they're telling me this is Boston because of the names.
Yeah, there's some people haven't even played the game and haven't been to Boston. Yeah,
but then they're gonna have a real warped view of what Boston actually is and what Bethesda thinks Boston is. I know it's an alternate universe, but whatever. You can also see like some Lovecraftian bullshit in there, like Dunwich. I guess that's a real place in Boston, kind of like near Danvers on the North Shore. They had the Danvers Insane Asylum, the Danvers State Hospital. That's what it used to be called. The movie Session 9 was filmed up there. It's torn down now at this point. Now it's just condominiums up there. But that was like a creepy place. It's been there forever, but dominated the skyline on the hills when you're driving to the North Shore, like 95. Yeah, but yeah, that's gone. But I guess they had it's called like Parsons Hospital or something like that. Parsons Sanitarium. So I don't know. Some of it's pretty cool. Like but it's like I wanted to have it more recognizable. Like, oh yeah, that's cool. I remember that place. But no, Not really.
All right, so we're getting a tentative thumbs down on the setting accuracy.
I'm giving it a thumbs down. But I mean, you guys
we can't even fucking speak to whether it's accurate or not.
I mean, but you don't have to speak to the accuracy, but how about just the setting? I mean, is it an enjoyable setting? Is it different from Fallout New Vegas? Is it more interesting to explore?
I'm going to have to say not really. I mean, comparing it to New Vegas, just the environment, New Vegas was, obviously, it's pure desert, uniform, fucking terrain and shit. What I've played of Fallout 4, it seems like it's the same. There's just trees now. There's nothing really geographically separating it from New Vegas in terms of the topography. And one of the issues I'm having as I'm playing it is the cities are larger in the sense that there's more buildings and such there, but you can't enter most of them.
That's true.
They're just set decoration, whereas in New Vegas, almost every single building has an entrance somewhere, even if it's just, one location out of a huge block of flats. There's somewhere you can go in. Well,
north of Vegas, I mean, that whole sprawl, there's a lot of dead space there.
There is a lot of dead space there.
But you're going to think in Fallout 4, where you have all these urban type of settings, there's a lot of buildings that you can actually go into. Like, although you can't go into all of them, I think there's just enough variation, like especially in Boston, like by Good Neighbor, it's like a sprawl, dude. It's like a maze. It's a labyrinth. And that's cool because you get the CQB kind of feel to it when you're going through the streets and shit, like a post-apocalyptic, like urban environment, just like it's gangbusters out there, man. It's pretty cool. But then you go to the North Shore where it's all trees and shit. It's more open. I think it's a pretty cool. I like how they mixed it up. So it's not complete urban, but it's not complete like rural ops.
Well, I obviously haven't put as much time into it as you have. I've only got
because you have a life. I know.
Yeah, I've only got maybe 4 hours. Trolling takes up a lot of my time.
You got maybe because I put in my first hour with him there. Like, no, do that. No,
I wasn't telling you what to do. I was just watching. Because I hate that, and I make sure I didn't fucking ruin the game for you.
And I've explored the couple starting locations: Lexington, the Cambridge. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I would say maybe 1 out of 4 buildings you can go in, and that's really annoying to me.
Yeah,
especially when when they're discrete buildings. When it's not like New Vegas, like North Vegas, where it's a huge, like face of a building, and there's one door somewhere that you can go in. Where it's like they modeled an entire building separate from everything else for no reason because you can't go in. That pisses me the hell off.
Yeah, a lot of boarded up doors and shit.
Yeah.
But in the same time, because I'm such a completionist, like almost neurotically, I'm like, oh, thank God I can't go into this building. Because if I could, I'd be going in there checking every single container and everything else. But
yeah, so I would rather they just make the city smaller, cut out the 3/4 of the building so you have as many buildings that you can go in and all the buildings are useful. You don't need that many buildings to be explorable. Like you were saying, you feel satisfied with the number of buildings that you can go in. Just take out the fucking set dressing.
I like it because it's more. I mean, it's more realistic. Because you got to think. I mean, a lot of the shit would just be rubble and ruins that you can actually. It's impassable, but you can't actually go inside. But at the same rate, you never know which building you're going to be able to go into and which building you can't. So it still has that sense of wonder. Still invokes that sense of mystery. Like, oh shit! Like, what am I walking into? Okay, there's a landmark on the map, but there's like 8 or 9 buildings around it that you can go and fuck around in. But, I mean, the topography, yeah, I mean, okay, post-apocalyptic setting, bombs go off, trees are flattened, it's a gray area, whatever, it's all barren dirt. But New England is kind of flat. I mean, they have mountains, but, I mean, they're not really mountains. I mean, it's pretty close to sea level. So it's just like the Mojave. It's relatively flat as far as topography goes. But no, I get what you're saying though, completely. It seems like that. Yeah, I mean, when you get into the Boston area, there's a lot of shit to explore.
Well, I suppose I'll find that out later.
You sure will.
Any final thoughts on the setting there, Chris?
Like I said, I only put in the first hour. Like I literally made it outside of the vault, and then it was like, "Oh, time to save. Let's go to the hockey game."
Oh, okay, so basically,
So you basically haven't played it.
Yeah.
So basically, your opinion's worthless. Thanks for telling the viewers that.
Well, we already knew his opinion was worthless. Now it's been validated.
Wow. Wow, taking shots.
Early on.
All right, so moving on from the setting, we're going to talk about another major component of the Fallout series is the music.
Yes.
Give us your thoughts there, Ben, on the music.
I actually like the music for Fallout New Vegas a lot better.
Really?
Yeah, New Vegas music was a lot better. I mean, Diamond City Radio, Trevor, he's just a neurotic mess, and that's cool. But at the same rate, like, it feels like they have more songs, but I kind of like the songs that New Vegas had, like the cowboy kind of like
the
Traveler
Western style.
Yeah, kind of feel to it. I think it was more pertinent. It's like the setting; it just matched better. Like here, Boston. I mean, you have classical, which I get, but it's a very educated area in the country, probably the most educated area in the country. A lot of the fucking colleges and universities, world-class universities, higher learning area, but they have the conservatory there, the fucking Berkeley School of Music, the Boston Symphony Orchestra, the Opera House. I mean, I get the classical angle, but the other channels, they're just like, whatever, dude. Like, I don't see how this fits into Boston, how this is thematically cogent with the fucking setting, you know?
It doesn't really fit into Boston. I mostly listen to the Diamond City one with Trevor, and in my fucking 4 hours of play, and all of them are about something nuclear, and it's like,
yeah,
why would people in this 200 years after the bombs drop still be obsessed to the point of their entire radio station is focused on bombs dropping songs?
I thought about that. I think that might be like, because right before the bombs dropped, like 200 years ago, like 2077 or whatever it is, 2078. Maybe because they're still talking about like the whole society's built around nuclear power. Nuclear, not nuclear. Chris.
You don't like that Simpsons episode? It's pronounced nuclear.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess, like, the whole society is based around that. Like, everyone's... I mean, that seems to be, like, a pretty salient issue when it came to, I don't know, the flavor text of the game.
Yeah, but even if everything you have is powered by nuclear reactors, you wouldn't still be idolizing 100-year-old songs about nuclear war.
Well, maybe that's all that they had left. Like, that was contemporary at the time. And then the bombs dropped, art stopped. We can only salvage what we can. And that's probably why they have classical, because that's everywhere. Public domain, and what was hot at the time, the whole 50s alternate universe type of deal. I mean, yeah, it's in the future, but they're still driving like 1950 fucking style cars and shit. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same token, you can go 20 miles south to DC, and they've got an entirely different music scene from Fallout 3, where not everything is talking about nukes.
No, it's more patriotic, though, down there, right?
Well, yeah.
Which was thematically correct.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Boston, there's no theme aside from nuclear, all this crap. But it was like, at least they're not playing like Dropkick Murphys. Oh my God, I would have thrown the game through the fucking wall.
And I gotta say, I'm annoyed that they recycled the trailer song from Fallout 3 into Fallout 4. I'm not sure why.
Which one?
I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire.
Yeah.
That was the song from Fallout 3. It was basically the theme song.
But that was the opening song for Fallout New Vegas, wasn't it?
No, the opening song for New Vegas was Blue Moon, I want to say.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like the whole swing. See, New Vegas had the swing, the fucking casino shit.
Yeah.
Why is Boston all about bombs dropping and... I don't get it. I really don't get it. That's what I'm saying. The music really didn't fit. That's why I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay. I was expecting to fight you on that, but
Oh.
Yeah. Music not 100% appropriate.
Absolutely not.
Thumbs down from me.
Thumbs down.
Chris, do you have a thought on the vault music?
Vault music.
Like I said, I literally walked outside. I was like, "Oh, hey, what's this?" I turned on the radio, and then it was like, "Okay, save."
You just got Codsworth's sob story. 200 years. Try waxing the floor for the first 10 years, Chris. Oh shit.
You know, and speaking of that, let's just go right into the characters in the story that we've seen so far.
Okay, characters stand out in my mind. Ironside, like that big ass what is it, a Centurion or Securitron robot, like the big machine gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the USS Constitution by Bunker Hill. He sounds a lot like Darth Vader.
Do you think that was intentional?
I don't know. I actually wondered, is that James Earl Jones doing that
I doubt it.
voice? Because it sounded pretty damn close.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, I think he is. And also in the third rail down by Goodyear, or Good Neighbor rather, Goodyear. In Good Neighbor, there's this ghoulish thuggery community. It's pretty seedy, I guess. And they had the speakeasy type of place. Anyway, the bouncer is this ghoul named Ham. And he has he's trying to sound like Christopher Walken. And it's just so fucking bad. A ghoul, the ghoul voices. Hey kid, want some candy? Like that type of voice. But then he's doing a Christopher Walken impersonation. It's just awful.
You think you could try and match it?
Yeah, I know you're gonna ask me to do that, but I can't. I forget what he says. But yeah, no, it's just so bad. You just have to play it. Go talk to Ham. Hit him up a few times, and keep hitting X or whatever it is in your system. If you don't play PS4, then you suck.
It's whatever's the equivalent.
Yeah. So David, you play it on the PC because you're part of the PC master race. My computer that you built for me is probably 100 times better than yours, performance-wise. But how's the gameplay on your PC versus console? Because we each have, Chris has Xbox One, I have PS4, and David plays the PC. So I guess we can get a pretty good juxtaposition of how it works, right?
Yeah, the PC version is garbage right now.
That's too bad.
It needs to get patched. It needs to get modded.
Oh, because you do have a pretty kick-ass computer.
Yeah,
right?
I am no slouch in terms of graphics card, memory, all that crap. It's clearly designed for consoles and it feels like a bad port of a console game rather than something that was developed concurrently. There's
frame issues.
Tons of frame rate issues, tons of gameplay glitch issues. No crashes yet, fingers crossed. So that's a point in its favor over the release of Fallout 3 in New Vegas, which did have crashing issues out of the gate. But knock on wood, haven't had a crash yet. So I gotta give them a little bit of props for that, but still, the fact that outdoor battles are almost unplayable, gotta knock them back down.
I'm gonna vats that shit. Oh, what do you think, Chris, on Xbox One from what you've seen?
Well, I'd like to see how it looks on your PS4. I got a little taste before we started recording, but I would definitely like to compare it once I get a little further into the game.
Yeah, the PS4, I haven't had any real issues with it. I mean, just the usual bullshit, like a quasi-submerged boat, and the the water levels are in there, but it's moving up and down through the boat with the tide, and there's general garbage on the boat, and it's moving up and down. It looks kind of weird, but other than that, that's.
I have a question.
I don't have any glitches.
With the Xbox, not just this game, but every game, before you play it, you got to download part of it from the disc. Do you do that on PS4 too?
Yeah, and they gave you the little story with the special. What makes you special? Strength. And they show the little graphic things. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought that was awesome, that intro video. The vault, fucking what makes you special infomercial.
Yeah, the PC version actually doesn't open with that.
Doesn't open with that PSA?
No. I guess if you buy it on the disc and install it with the download, it might do that, but I just did digital download the whole way. And I didn't get the normal loading screen almost every time, and one time I fired it up, and rather than the normal loading screen, it went into the luck attribute for the what makes you special thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what triggered it. I guess it's just a random trigger.
Yeah, that's the last one though.
So I guess it's just in random order because there's no way to play it manually. So I guess it's something I just get to experience as emergent gameplay, except it's an emergent loading screen.
Yeah, so yeah, I got the full special.
All right, we kind of went away from the stories and into the gameplay there. So let's talk about the major gameplay element of the combat. Combat has changed from Fallout 3 and New Vegas, especially the VATS.
Yes, VATS. I like that, how time just doesn't fucking stop. So you can't just like have a tactical reassessment of the situation. There's still pressure on. Time's still moving, and you have to act. It's not like a timeout. I like that a lot.
I dislike it a lot, but that's partially because
your performance issues.
Because of the above frame rate issues.
Yeah.
And I don't particularly like the manual critical system now, where you have to charge up your critical hits in VATS before you can actually get a crit. That's a bit wonky. But
yeah, I suppose.
Just in terms of the real-time combat, I'm pretty happy with it. It's the same game engine as the previous two games, so there's not too much has changed.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. I kind of like it. My super sledge and my fucking power armor just dominates bitches. Yeah, I like the power armor, how like you actually have fuel for it, and you get it. Like I don't know, because like New Vegas seemed like you had to take Brotherhood of the Steel affiliation to get power armor.
Well, yeah, it's something you have to earn.
Yeah, and this one, it's like it's just fucking everywhere. It's just like there, standing in a crash site, several crash sites. You see like military down aircrafts, like, oh, there's gonna be power armor over there, and just like, I mean, random raiders you fight have power armor, which is cool because it automatically increases like the danger element. Like you never know what you're gonna walk into, but at the same rate, like I think it's cool. You have power armor, and that's how they limit it. It's such a high tech area. I mean, why would power armor be in the fucking Mojave Desert, right? There's nothing out there. But on Eastern Seaboard, major city Boston, I can understand why there'd be military presence and all this residual military hardware in a post-apocalyptic setting. And I understand that there's a lot of power, and the only way you can mitigate that is with a fusion core. So that's cool. I like how they did that. So that's why you got to buff your science up. You got to split that atom so it lasts twice as long. You can be trolling around your power armor like me and my super sledge.
All right, so let's get into the next gameplay element, the change to the perk system. Our special attributes are now perks, and as opposed to the old system where you just got perks as you leveled up. Now you invest points into various trees. How's that working out?
Well, in New Vegas, it was mostly like a tree system. You had recs, right? Prereqs and shit.
Yeah, it was, to get all fucking nerdy on us, it was more like feats from D&D, where you had stat requirements, you have level requirements, and you just take that perk, which you got every other level, as opposed to every level. And now it's every level you get a point, and that can increase a special stat, it can buy you a perk, you can upgrade a rank, get a perk you already have.
Yeah, it's like the only recs that they have for the perks now are your special attribute levels. So that it's its own prereq. I kind of like the idea of like a skill tree where you need certain perks to unlock other perks that are bigger and better. I think I like New Vegas perks a lot better.
And going hand in hand with this, there are no skills anymore. It's all perks.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a fan of the change, but I'm not like hating the new system. I can see how they designed things around their new perk tree. I miss the old system.
Okay, so the old system, you have guns at 100. What that doesn't increase damage. It doesn't do anything for you. It slows, mitigates some of the sway in your fucking reticle a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't designed to do that. The way it worked was if you didn't have the prerequisite for the gun, it did much lower damage. it doesn't. Having more guns doesn't make your bullets somehow stronger.
Yeah, but I think that's fucking stupid, though. A gun is a gun. If you get shot with a .40 caliber round, it's still going to do the same much tissue damage as a .40 caliber round from a 3-year-old that uses it versus a cat that accidentally sets it off.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you don't have the skill in New Vegas, if you didn't meet the skill requirements for the gun, it does much less damage.
Which is bullshit.
As opposed to now where it all depends on perks.
Yeah, I think that's more realistic.
I guess we'll just agree to disagree on that one.
I don't know. I killed a couple roaches. That's
yeah, with your
with your fucking baton.
You're trying to shoot it, and I was like, dude, those things go down pretty easily. You could probably not waste bullets.
I just wanted to try the gun out. See how it went.
Like I say, there's no shortage of ammo in this one at all.
All right, so we're going to move on from that. Actually, I think we ought to mention one last gameplay change, the major one, is the crafting system.
Yes.
We've gotten rid of weapon durability, armor durability, and instead we can build settlements, build custom weapons and armor. I think it's a good change. I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, well, listen to a couple episodes, right? You're pretty against it, but now that you played it, you think it's pretty cool?
I remember it was like, and it has a crafting system.
Every game has crafting. Every game has has to have a crafting system, and on that, I really hate how most of them are slapped on with no thought put into it, but this one has thought put into it, and that's why I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think it's a really good addition to the game.
Well, how about this? Both of you guys obviously have some time invested in this. I'm just starting. Before we give a final thumbs up or thumbs down, do you guys have any non-spoiler advice for someone who just started a game or is about to load up for the first time?
Yeah, usually I play the type of agile, glass cannon, smart guy that can get in places and sneak around and shit, more of like a lone survivor type of thing.
Just like real life.
Yeah, exactly. Not very robust physically. And you think, it's a post-apocalyptic fucking setting. There's going to be a shortage of ammo. I better be able to use my fucking hands and kill dudes with my fucking hands to save ammo. Well, in this one, that's not really a fucking problem. You can be trolling around in power armor. You can really maximize that if you have high intelligence. But don't be forced. Don't think like you're forced to have high strength and endurance and shit to go and melee dudes, because there's plenty of ammo out there. That's just my 2 cents. Yeah, and you want to be able to get into computers and unlock doors as fast as fucking possible.
I'm just going to say, without spoiling it, no matter what you do not sell the wedding rings. That's all I'm going to say.
What? Look at you fucking planting the seed of fucking of wonder.
Well, Ben was there when I was like stacking all my stuff up, and it was like, let's see, endurance 1.
I try to stat myself out as like closely to reality as possible.
I was like, let's be realistic. How can I make his nose even bigger? Like,
you went with like the Roman 4.
Yeah.
I spent like an hour trying to match me up like exactly the way I look in real life, but I couldn't change the color of the facial hair. It had to be black, not red.
Like for mine, it's like I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely somewhere not between like fat and skinny, but not quite athletic. I had to get just the right amount of bitch tit on my character.
Yeah. There's a triangle, and it should have been a square, or the last one fat.
Yeah, so they got to think about their consumer base, right?
Yeah, I know that. Nah, that's pretty cool, because I tried it really hard to make it as an honest assessment of myself. Yeah, like my luck was 2, my fucking charisma was 1. I had to put a lot of work into charisma to make my settlements work out. But I had high perception and agility, fairly high intelligence. I think I downplayed the intelligence. I'm smarter than all you people, includes you listeners.
Martin, where
are
you?
Especially
where are you?
#@Martin.
All right. Finally, we're going to touch on the replayability. None of us have really finished it. None of us have done much in the main quest. But do you think, after you beat this game once, you're going to go back to it, or are you just going to go back to Skyrim?
I think that Fallout New Vegas probably has higher replayability because it forced you to choose alliances. This one here, it's like it doesn't seem like the affiliation system or the faction system really works the same. It doesn't seem like there's any repercussions. Like if I take Brotherhood of the Steel, it doesn't close off certain. There's not like a running a rep based on what I'm wearing or how I'm acting or who I'm taking quests for. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of replayability after this one. It seems like it's one story and that's it. One and done.
Well, even if the replayability isn't there, you said you already logged 3 days. Have you hit any major game fatigue yet?
No.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Maybe it's a design decision by Bethesda these days, after Skyrim as well, where it doesn't seem like they want to walk content away from characters. They want one character to be able to do everything. Mm-hmm. And the only thing you couldn't do in Skyrim with one character is both Stormcloak and Imperial. And that's practically a fucking minor side quest compared to everything else you can do in Skyrim. I haven't seen a single thing in Fallout 4 that makes me think that I'm going to need to replay this game to see anything that I've missed. I think I'm going to play it once, get everything I can out of it, and then it's going to sit on the shelf.
Yeah, I don't know, I might play it again, but just try a different like character kind of concept. Like that's what. But Skyrim, you look in that regard, which why I still play it, is because there's so many different kinds of characters you can play. Like even I memorized the dungeons. I memorized them. But it's like...
Is it like Prison Break? Like you have them tattooed all over your body?
Yeah. What makes it fun is like the character, the differentiation, what kind of character you want to play. Like there's no classes. There are no classes, but they kind of are soft classes based on how you play a character, which is cool. Fallout 4, I don't know if it's there.
Yeah, I don't see myself replaying Fallout 4 just to primarily use energy weapons instead of guns or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, so what do you think? Like final assessment?
Final assessment?
Is it worth the $66?
66? I don't think so. I'd say if you get it on sale, great. Unless you're a diehard fucking Fallout fan, and I know a lot of people are, but unless you are, I gotta say, hold off until you get it on sale or until some DLC comes out to make that $40 season pass worthwhile. Oh,
there's a season pass too?
Yeah. I believe it's planned 4 or 5 DLC packages. Fallout 3 had 4, if I remember correctly. New Vegas had 4? Yeah, 4.
That's definitely going to increase the replayability, though.
Well, if it's anything like the previous ones, you just are going to be able to download it and go right into it from an existing save. So I don't even know if that's as much replayability. It's just extending the playability of the first game.
Boom, sucker.
No, I think it will.
We'll see, I guess.
I mean, because like Skyrim, Heartfire, or the vampire werewolf one. Remember that you had to choose, like you want to Dawnguard?
Dawnguard. Yeah,
that one, that was a hard choice. So maybe they'll have DLCs where you actually have to make a choice.
I hope so.
Oh, David wants to make a choice, everyone. He's deviating from his non-committal stance. Now he wants to have impactful decisions. Damn it!
As long as there's no consequences.
Oh God! All right, so thumbs up or thumbs down? You say
I'm saying hold off. I'm saying thumbs down for now, and we'll see.
All right.
Well, I had a $10 coupon. I got it for like $55 or some $56. I'm only an hour in, so I'm cool with it so far. Like, I started playing Fallout 3, played for like maybe like an hour and a half, and then I put it down, never picked it back up because I didn't even get a chance to kill anything yet. So this one already has me a little locked in. So I'm saying thumbs up for now, but we'll see if that changes in a future episode.
Yeah. I give it a thumbs up. Because I say that because even if I didn't like it, I still spent over 72 hours of my life playing it. And that is worth $60. Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been DayPod 2.0. We will see you next time. We'll be discussing some other crap.